Get started here in just a second. We'll have Coach Cronin give a opening statement, then open up to Q&A. We've got Jaime Jaquez Jr. and Amari Bailey here with him as well. So, Coach, if you want to go ahead with an opening statement.
I'm using my new fangled water bottle here for a second. Take that with you. Congratulations to Colorado on their competitive spirit. Dad's teams always play like that, especially when we play. It's always a war. They made a lot of shots, even to get. I think Gavin was 9 for 36 coming in. He hit his first. He's 2 for 2 today. He's 5 for 5 on the season. So, but I told the guys, look, when you're trying to put a team out of a tournament, they could be staring at their last game. You got to expect them to play well. So I thought Colorado played really well. It wasn't anything that we didn't come ready to play by any stretch. So they hit a lot of tough shots early. Give them credit. Our guys, as usual, get tougher as the game goes on. That's what happens when when you got winners on your team. That's what we try to recruit, and that's what they are. So they do whatever's necessary. We're not always perfect, but nobody is. We find a way to win. So that's 28 of them on the year. It's not easy. But when you got these guys like this on the team, makes it easy. Obviously, Amari had a big day scoring the ball, and, I know he's got that in him, and I've been trying to figure out how to get it out of him. It hasn't been his fault. It's been mine. We're trying to figure out ways to get his confidence going. I thought this game got going up and down, and he was able to get a lot of touches early to get into his rhythm. When you're a young player, it helps you get your confidence going. So got him to the foul line, too. So the way he drives the ball, we got to continue to get him to the foul line. So great win for us.
Okay,
we'll want to hit these guys first.
We'll open up to questions. Okay, we'll start here in the front with Ben.
Amari, did you consciously come into this game wanting to have a big offensive output, especially with Jalen not available?
No, if anything, I feel like we can lose a lot just with Jalen's presence defensively. So I just wanted to come in and just try to make at least some of it up, and just play hard as I can on defense and just flow throughout the game, really.
Row 2 here.
Coach, they made 7 threes in the
Yeah.
first half, shot almost 60%. Was it something, were they shooting the ball really well? Was it something, breakdowns defensively?
No, I think it was them. They spread us out. They play small with no 5-man at times. And they had guys making shots that aren't their best shooters on the year. Like I said, Gavin's 2 for 2 in the first half. He's 9 for 36 on the year. So, but at tournament time, everybody's dangerous. And I think it's smart strategy, as good as we are defensively, is to try to spread us out as much as you can. Don't let us put you into small spaces and tight gaps, because that's where we can really start stealing the ball. We still end up with 9 steals today. But I thought it was strategy on their part. Give them credit, and their kids made shots. It's not always, our defense is awful because we're not ready to play. I don't think that was the case. I think Colorado's strategy, and they made shots. And when teams are banging in shots, it really spreads you out, and now you're scared to help. So we were able to get them a little bit more uncomfortable with ball pressure in the second half, and I think it probably affected their three-point shooting at least a little bit. They shot 27% in that half.
How do you think your bench did without Jacob Hart?
Well, they played a lot of minutes. I don't always put, bench production on points. Will McClendon had 4 rebounds in the first half when we were playing with Adem and Amari with foul trouble. So he gives us a lot of the same attributes as far as toughness and rebounding and things of that nature. Look, Dylan gave us 12 minutes, so it's a normal game for us as far as minutes played when you look at the stat sheet.
Ben.
Jaime, we've seen it over and over again the last few minutes. You guys have just kind of been super clutch. What all goes into that? You've done it so many times this season as a team.
I think it has to do with just how comfortable we are. Like you said, we've done it a bunch this season. I've got a lot of games under my belt here, and I know a lot of my teammates do as well, like Tiger and David. And we just know when we get in those situations, we know how to win. And we understand that in crunch time, you got to get stops. And that's what we did. That's what we did this game.
Adam.
Adam Grossbart, Orange County Register. Jaime, there's been a lot made about how this team is built for March because of the veterans, but how big was it to have the two freshmen, Amari and Adam, step up the way that they did today?
I mean, it was huge. I mean, I think Amari had a good case at Freshman of the Year as well. I mean, he's just a talent in production, defense. I mean, he does it all as well. Adem was also great for us. I mean, you got that block that he had. It was like at the top of the backboard. It was that was incredible. But yeah, I mean, this is what these guys do, man. That's who they are.
Third row in the back.
Ben Parker, Rivals.com. For the players, just talk about what was the key to flipping the switch in the second half. You guys were down by one. What was kind of the message going into halftime, and just what really accounted for your guys' ability to like flip that switch and take care of business the way you did in that second half?
I think we just talked about locking in on defense, having our mind completely solely focused on the defensive end. We scored almost 40 points, so we understood our offense wasn't the issue. We knew we just needed to stop them, and our offense was going to do its thing.
Bill, here in the front.
Jaime, how are you a different team without Jalen on the floor?
I mean, I think we're still trying to figure that out. This is our first game without him. He brings so much to our team. He brings intensity, energy. He's our X factor when it comes to defensive end as well. I mean, on offense, he can do so many things. Like with that being said, we got a lot of guys that can step up. I mean, Amari just had a great night tonight, and I'm sure that guys like Da, Will, Abramo, when their number is called, they're going to step up just as big. So I'm excited to see what we have in store.
Front row here.
Jim Alexander from the Southern California News Group. Mick, replacing Jalen, was today and how you use guys off the bench kind of an indication of what it's going to be going forward, or will that depend on matchups?
Depend on matchups. There was part of me wanted to start Will just because I like having Dave off the bench. I like being able to sub in a starter. As you get off to a slow start, you put a guy in that can immediately bang a couple shots in for you. But also I know, part of me is like, look, David's been the most loyal player I've ever coached. The guy, my first year, I inserted him in the starting lineup and we almost win the Pac-12. Turns our season around just by following orders. Not that that was his worst shooting year because he was coming off the broken foot. The next year, Johnny Juzang walks in and David doesn't start, doesn't play near as much, doesn't say a word. Steps up big, helps us beat Alabama in overtime. We go to the Final Four. So he goes to a non-starter. Never once bats an eye. Cheers every. These guys will tell you he's the guy talking in the huddle. He's the guy that says bring it in. So he deserves to start. Strategically, a lot like a part of me wants to start Will, just because he's a better rebounder, and I like having Dave come in to make shots. And to your question, offensively, we shoot it better from three, obviously, with Dave in the starting lineup. Without Jalen in the starting lineup. But Dave missed a lot of looks that he normally doesn't miss today. But that's good because I believe in the law of averages, so we're going to need him. So we didn't need him today. So if he's going to shoot 20, he's going to make 10. So he's 2 for 8 right now.
Second row, far right.
Adam Hill, Las Vegas Review-Journal. Coach, I know conference tournaments can be a mixed bag, but you could potentially be a 1 seed in the West, which would mean potentially coming back here. Is this maybe a dress rehearsal, kind of get familiar with the building, comfortable here?
No, I mean, if we're not familiar with this building by now, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we played 4 here last year. This was 3 this year. Tomorrow will be 4, so it'll be 8 in 2 years if we play again Saturday. So, we like to recruit Vegas, so we get up here, we can get more recruiting done and get much better dinners than some of those other places. So it's just obviously travel's more important than all that. I'm being funny, but looking forward to dinner. A lot of options here.
Billy here in the front.
Mick, is there just the way the tournament selection committee is, reviews things and what they look at? Is there an incentive for you not to address Jalen's status?
I address Jalen's status as clear as I'm legally allowed to.
Okay. So, but beyond this, or maybe what his status might be beyond this.
Oh no!
Weekend.
If they ask us, I'll tell them exactly what they want to know.
Okay.
I said that in my press conference, didn't I, Ben? Yeah.
Has anybody contacted?
No, I would think they would probably contact Martin, to be honest with you. I don't know how much they like me anyway. But no, yeah, we'd be transparent with them. But, you know, I think the thing that bothers me is that people feel like, first of all, I have a job and I have, a family I'd like to keep. So there's a little thing called HIPAA. Okay. Second thing is, Amari had an injury. I was consistent. He had a foot injury. He was out. There was no details said about it. The Dems started wearing a mask. Did I ever say what happened to him? So, if kids have rights, they have careers. If they don't want us to disclose their injury, okay, then that's their right. And I'm more concerned with doing what's right for my players than making people in the media happy. So, least of my worries is that. But as far as the committee, absolutely, I would share anything with them. But I think people think they have a right to know everything is ridiculous. It's happened already today. Somebody's Twitter saying stuff about Coach Self, who I've known since I was 20, and I'm praying he's okay, and people are speculating, how about give the guy some privacy with his family? I respect that people got a job to do, but Jalen Clark has a right to his privacy, guys. And I would hope that people would respect that. All right? Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your time.